Welcome to the AIP channel where anything is possible. And we are on another interesting journey of thought, I guess you'd say. We want to talk about the ancient ruins of Nan Madol. I've watched many shows on the History Channel and Discovery and all that. National Geographic. It's pretty interesting site. Here's a as we talk, I'm gonna have this picture up for the ones who can see. And we just not just looking at me. I got a picture of possible how Namadol looked like back in the day. With the ships coming in and people and stuff. So, um, found a cool picture and figured, why not? Because that's what it's about. So the ones that are just listening by words, hey, look up Nan Madol, and you'll see some pretty amazing pictures for sure. To start our little journey tonight, or whenever you're listening to it on this day, it's night for me, so you'll hear me say night. The ancient ruins of Madol, Nan Madol. I'm sorry, let me say it right. The ancient ruins of Nan Madol. It's in Micronesia. It is built on top of a coral reef in the South Pacific, and it's absolutely amazing how many stones have been moved to create this site. Like everything was cut, and it's just so many. We'll get to we'll get into an estimate of how many stones was actually moved and how many's there. And um, Graham Hancock's talked about this site before too, so it's like I said, so many has talked about this site. And off the coast of a remote Micronesian island lay the ruins of a once great city of human-made stone islands. These ruins in the South Pacific represent the remains of a megalithic architecture of an unparalleled scale to Micronesia. The complex of Namadol is constructed on a series of artificial islets and the shallow water next to the Pohnpei Island. The site encloses an area approximately of 1.5 kilometers by about half a kilometer wide, and it has about 100 artificial islets. 100 little islands they made. As you can see in this little picture here, you're looking at, all of these little islets and all of these little islands, basically. It's just amazing. Amazing the time and the effort they took to build this. So, they say the evidence dates back to the 1st or 2nd century. They said the construction of the artificial islets probably started around the 8th or 9th century AD. He said, however, the megalithic structures were built during the 12th and 13th centuries, about the same time as the stone construction of the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, or Angkor Wat in Cambodia. They say Nan Madol seems to have housed the ruling elite case of the Sablur dynasty. It was a political and ceremonial seat of power as a means to control their subjects. The Sablur dynasty had succeeded in uniting the clans of Pohnpei. The ruler forced local chieftains to leave their home villages and move to the city, where their activities could be more closely observed. They said most of the islets was used as residential, but some served like for food preparation, coconut oil production, or building canoes. The Madol Pile, the mortuary sector, contained 58 islets in the northeastern area of Nan Madol. They said the centerpiece was a complex of royal mortuary in the islet of Nandowas, with its 7.5 meter walls surrounding a central tomb enclosure. So all these little islands, they had everything. They had areas for food prep. They had, what did it say, coconut oil production. They were building canoes, had an area like, all right, this island here is for canoes. This one's for coconuts. And this one here is to bury everybody. That's pretty amazing on itself. That's truly is, think about it being so far, and there's some speculation, of course. I threw out Graham Hancock, of course. There's some speculation that Nan Madol was actually is older than they even archaeologists think. There's some that think it's much older. Of course, you can't date rock. You can only date material around it, and I remember watching a documentary not too long ago, and these professors were there and was talking about the different layers. Like, if you go through once you hit this layer, it is you know 13th century or something like that, and then you turn around and you hit this layer, and it is like 8, 9, uh, you know, and then you hit this layer, it's like 1500 BC or something like that. Don't quote me on the numbers. I meant to save that somewhere, but um, I forgot. Uh, I forgot which documentary I was watching was talking about it, but I I watch so many. It's hard to keep up, and it truly is. I'm last 6 months, last year for real. I've been just absorbing information and just trying to grab as much as I can, and it is mind leveling of how much I keep adding and adding to this computer inside this head, and I guess probably that's why this hair keeps going farther and farther back. My head might be getting bigger. I don't know, but I just keep adding more and more. It's I'm, between adding more, for martial arts and teaching on that side, and then more on this side with the podcast and just gaining knowledge of how to do things and gaining knowledge how things worked before in the past. And man, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with. That's our little ADD moment of the night. Uh, that moment of the night is brought to you by ADD. Have you been tested lately? They say the population of Nan Madol was probably more than 1,000 at a time when the whole population of Pompeii barely reached 25,000. There are no sources of fresh water or possibility to grow food on Nan Madol, so all supplies had to be brought in from the mainland. And the populous city probably included a large number of commoner servants. In the biggest center of culture at Nan Madol, which was left numerous other megalithic structures scattered on neighboring shores and on the main island of Pompeii. Pohnpei, I think I'm saying it right now. Pohnpei, that Pohnpei. It all can be found in an area about 18 square kilometers. They said that how the giant stones that formed the foundation of Nampal were in place is truly unknown. They said local legend of the stones are flown to the location using black magic or other supernatural powers. One folk tale holds that giants moved the massive rocks into place. Uh, you know, something has somehow your own water, and you're moving these massive stones on it, and to build the foundation for these things, and then you start, then they start carving this basalt, um, looking like logs. that has all the city walls, and they're like 50 tons each. They said that the Saudi lures had put. There was no evidence that the Saudi lures had pulleys or other mechanical means to make it easier to move these heavy pieces of stone. So I mean, if that's right, so that means they were just manhandling these stones, and uh, yeah, what in the world? Uh, that's crazy, 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 crazy. Um, Archaeologists have found several possible quarry sites on the main island. He said, but the exact method of transportation or construction materials has still not been determined. Uh, if you're just moving across land, like you think about it, like uh, you know, okay, you can use trees, you can use this, but you're moving stuff out these little islands and stuff with with canoes is what is that you know a bunch of canoes. I don't know. It makes you wonder. You know, um, it's amazing how people back in the day was able to make things happen, and finding a way of going working through stuff and making it work. No matter how hard or whatever. If they needed extra manpower, they use extra manpower or whatever it took to get the job done. Why to hear you say people say all the time, like there's many things that we couldn't create again because one, I don't think a lot of people have the willpower or the determination that some of the people back in the day had. Um, we had small groups of people, especially like farmers and country folk and stuff like that. They'll make what they have and make it work. Um, and use whatever they have and just manipulate it into what they want to have. Uh, a great car builder, Ian Rosell. I love watching his shows. I love seeing his cars and vehicles and his art that he's built. I mean, some of them are just art pieces, really. And he uses older stuff and just manipulates the metal and whatever he has and the shapes. And I've seen him take dog food bowls and make it into a dash and stuff like that, and just using whatever he has and and bringing a dream of to reality on that one person. And you imagine you have a whole community of people with this goal and dream. It's amazing. It really is. More on the story here. They say that once the first Europeans arrived around the 19th century, that Nan Madol had already been abandoned. Um, they say some claim that the ruins are the lost islands of Lemuria, although there's no scientific backing for this claim, or for that matter, the existence of Lemuria at all. So some people don't know if um, some things, uh, though if you look at over time, you hear sites and stuff and people that they didn't think Troy was real, and they said, oh, that's just a myth, that was whatever, until they found it. City of Jericho, no, that's fake, it was just in the Bible, that don't mean it's real. Then they found the city of Jericho. So it's because of the archaeology stuff. Think one way, don't mean it's true. So what do y'all think? I mean, it's amazing, amazing sight. Uh, the allure of the city really matches that of like Giza pyramids, or um, Easter Island, or Stonehenge. amazing people long ago said, we're going to build this, and this is what we're going to use, and this is going to be here for now on. I mean, using what, the basalt as they did, it's going to be here for forever, as long as nobody tears it up. Basalt ain't going nowhere. It's just one of them things, uh, makes you go, the power. Like I said again, it's just the power of the mind of, we're gonna make this work. Is the part that amazes me. And of course, you can watch Ancient Aliens, and the aliens did it. Uh, Maybe so. Maybe it's some kind of ancient alien technology that they use to levitate all the rocks out there. Somehow they got all them 50-ton stones out there, and uh, across water and everything else, getting raised up to where they're going to be, and supposedly without pulleys or anything like that. It makes you wonder, and it makes you, again, another side, like, man, on the critical thinking of myself, and it was like, how do they know that they don't have this kind of thing? I mean, of course, they're looking through the dirt and they don't find a pulley, but that don't mean nothing. You know, dig in my yard, for 100 years, and you might find a few sockets, and well, this guy was a mechanic, or whatever, he was, and no matter what, it makes you think, well, what are they going to say? They dig up my yard in 1,000 years. What are they going to find? And what are they going to say? Well, this person was this or that, and could be far from the absolute truth of what they, uh, what it is, it, I was speaking to somebody the other day about it, and truly, everything is, it's speculation. It really is. A lot of it's speculation. You know, uh, I'm in my mid 40s, and what I was taught in history class was, you know, half. It seems like it. It wasn't this much, but it seems like it. Like half of it has been proven false by now. Half of what we were taught in history was wrong, or it's been changed, and it's like, man, did I waste my time in school learning all the wrong stuff? And I mean, I understand, as things grow and not grow, as technology evolves, and as more research is done, more facts we're going to find. But you look back, you see so many things that, you know, like when I was in school, uh, Christopher Columbus, sailed the blue, you know, 1492, whatever the hell, Ninta and Pinta and the Santa Maria. Had a little song we sang, in school to kind of help us along. But one of them things go, and and then you find out later, he wasn't the first one to know that, even been here. The Vikings were here long before that, and so many other cultures were here well before Columbus didn't even make it to the mainland. Is one of the ones, just the thought process, just, I know I'm kind of rambling here at the end. But, just throwing out ideas and throwing out stuff, just wondering, um, hope you, you know, comment and message and see what, hey, say what you think I'm full of it? I might be, hell, I can only research for so much, I don't have the means of, I wish I did, be able to go to all these places that I talk about. and put hands on it. And I still wouldn't be able to, put the time and effort of, the research that needs to be done, be just lifetimes on every one of them, every subject, a lot of the subjects I put out there, it just, lifetime of surgery, study on each one, it's amazing how amazing it is, But that's what I wanted to bring to y'all today. I want y'all to just a quick glimpse into the uh, Nan Madol, and you know, I'm there's lots of other people talking about it. They got very more vast knowledge of it than I do, or anything like that. But just stuff that interests me, as always, I try to throw it out there because um, especially lately, I've had so many times. And it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you're all the way to the end of this, you're hearing it be my this little random, and I'm a little, because it's like, hey, and start talking about a subject, like, oh, well, about this right here, and and they're like, I've never heard of that. What is that? And I have friends start searching, or I can show them, and it's like, wow, I never heard of that. Like, cool. I get to spread, truth and knowledge and people probably never would have knew about. Some of these sites people never heard about, because they not everybody, looks into everything like kind of like I do, and I'm still finding new places every day, that I've never heard of. Once I see something, and then I start digging and um, digging and see what I can find on it, so I can put it out here to y'all. But I'll say I appreciate y'all listening. Please like and share, comment on the Spotify. You can download and all that kind of stuff. I think that helps with algorithms and all that good stuff too. Uh, uh, the Troubled Minds Radio Network. I'm syndicated on there, so you can listen into my show and so many other great ones. Uh, you have I'm on Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, Rumble, Apple, all of them. If you find one I'm not on and I need to be on, you let me know and I'm getting on there. I'm gonna try to spread this and see how far I can take it. And I don't care about getting famous or viral, or I don't care about none of that. I appreciate you, every one of y'all, listening to me. And if it keeps to a small little group, and I'm still touching people's lives, and they might be able to spread the seed down the road, spread that knowledge down the road. I help two people, and then they help four people, and then it magnifies. And that's my goal and hope, this magnification of truth and knowledge and asking questions. But as always, y'all keep on keeping on, and y'all, pizza and chicken grease, y'all be good.